All right, today we're diving into something that really affects every single driver in Virginia, the Driver Improvement Program. Now, whether you've got a squeaky clean record or maybe a point or two on your license, this system is designed to shape the way we all drive. So let's get right into what it is and why it's so important.
So let's start with a number that'll probably make you sit up and listen. The Virginia DMV says the odds are 1 in 4 that you'll be in a crash at some point. A 25% chance. When you think about it like that, it really drives home just how critical road safety is, doesn't it?
So how do you actually try to beat those odds? Well, Virginia's answer is what they call a different kind of crash course. And no, this isn't about accidents. It's about making sure they never happen in the first place. That's the big idea behind this whole program. So what exactly is this crash course we're talking about? Well, at its heart, it's Virginia's game plan for managing driver behavior, both the good and the bad, all to make our roads safer for everybody. You know, it's easy to think a program like this is all about punishment, but it's actually much smarter than that. It's really a four-part strategy. Sure, it warns and educates drivers who might be taking risks, and yeah, it can absolutely take dangerous drivers off the road, but, and this is key, it's also built to reward safe driving. That positive reinforcement is just as crucial as the penalties. So how does the DMV keep track of all this? The engine that makes this whole thing run is a point system. I like to think of it like a balance sheet for your driving record, with credits and debits that together tell the story of your habits behind the wheel. Okay, so here are the two sides of that balance sheet. On the good side, you have safe driving points. You get one of these for every single calendar year you drive without any violations. Nice. On the bad side, you've got demerit points, which get tacked on when you're convicted of a traffic violation. And here's a super important detail. They stick around for 2 years from the date of the offense, not the date you went to court. That's a big difference. Now, you might be thinking, great, I'll just save up a ton of these safe driving points. Well, not so fast. You can't just stockpile them forever. There's a cap. The highest your balance can go is +5, so you can think of these points as a safety cushion against any demerits you might pick up. This brings us to the crash course itself, the Driver Improvement Clinic. So why would you actually find yourself signing up for one? Turns out there are a few very different reasons, and it's really important to know which situation you're in. There are pretty much 4 main ways you'd end up in a clinic. A judge could order you to go, or the DMV itself could require it. You could also just volunteer to go, maybe to earn some of those safe driving points. And finally, you might take it hoping for an insurance discount. But, and this is a big but, look closely at that last column. If you're only taking the course for your insurance company, you will not get any safe driving points from the DMV for it. All right, so let's say you're taking the course, whether by choice or, well, not. What can you actually expect? Let's walk through what the clinic experience is really like. The whole process is pretty straightforward, really. First, you got to find a clinic that's approved by the DMV and get registered. Then you have to buckle down and complete the full 8-hour course. It's definitely a time commitment. And finally, you have to pass a final exam to show you actually learned something. Here's the nitty-gritty you need to know. You've got options. You can do it online or in a classroom. The cost is capped at $100, so it won't be more than that. The whole point of the course is to teach you defensive driving skills to keep you out of trouble. And once you pass, the clinic gets that info to the DMV within 24 hours. But here is a huge heads up. If a judge ordered you to take this, it is 100% your responsibility to make sure the court will accept a certificate from an online course. You don't want to get tripped up by that. So we've covered the what and the how. Now for the most important part, the why. What are the actual real-world benefits of this program? And what are the consequences if you get on the wrong side of it? Let's start with the upside. First and foremost, you learn defensive driving skills that could literally save your life or someone else's. That's huge. You can also get those sweet +5 safe driving points if you're there as a volunteer or because the DMV sent you. And for drivers 55 and up, finishing a course might even get you a discount on your insurance. Just make sure to talk to your agent first. But then there's the other side of the coin, the stakes. For drivers 18 and older, racking up demerit points triggers a very clear chain of events. Get 8 points in a year, you'll get a warning letter. Hit 12 points, and now you have to complete a clinic, and you only have 90 days to do it. If you don't, your license gets suspended. And if you hit 18 points in 12 months, that's an automatic 90-day suspension, no questions asked. And things get even more serious if you get a violation while you're already on probation with the DMV. At that point, the consequences escalate, and they escalate fast. For example,
Just a 3-point violation while you're on probation? That triggers a 45-day suspension of your license.
A slightly more serious 4-point violation? Now that suspension jumps up to 60 days. And for a 6-point violation committed on probation, you are looking at a full 90-day suspension. The message is crystal clear. Once you're on probation, any mistake has immediate and pretty severe consequences. When you boil it all down, the Virginia Driver Improvement Program is really built on a simple truth. Your driving record is more than just a list of tickets. It tells a story. It's a story about your habits, your choices, and your commitment to keeping yourself and others safe. This whole system is designed to help you write a good one. So I guess the only question left is, what will your story say?